HLE Radio, it is the morning show. With me this morning, the Brandt clan. Got all three of them now. Talking shop, talking ministry, talking Cowboy Outreach America. How did the Cowboy Outreach America come about, man?
Honestly, it came about through all of the junk and hogwash and attacks that we had through the Christian industry, and God just kept telling me to keep the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people started, whenever you start getting some success in any kind of industry, whether it be construction or whatever it may be, you start getting some success, and then you start getting those people who want fruit from your tree, like you talked about earlier. They start coming after you and talking bad about you and trying to take fruit, and the Bible keeps saying just turn the cheek, and it's hard to turn the cheek.
We only got so many cheeks you can turn.
You do, but I never wanted to be above reproach, and people would say it's all about Tommy Brandt, and there's a fine line between promoting yourself and promoting the gospel, because you have to open doors and all such as that. The main thing for me is to win souls over the kingdom.
Amen.
No matter what, needed to chase after that. So God showed us this vision of starting to go out to where the lost are at, instead of trying to use a name to draw people in. He started saying, hey, you go to where the crowds are at. And in doing that, it didn't really take a name to do that. It just took a willing vessel.
Right.
And actually, it takes a little bit of humility to do that, because we would call rodeos or car shows, people who already had an audience, and say, hey, we'll come and be your free music if that's what it takes. We'll play for your dance. We'll be your MC for the day. But we just need about 5 minutes to talk to your audience about Jesus. So a lot of these events that we were doing and are doing as we started Cowboy Outreach America wasn't about Tommy Brandt at all. They didn't know who Tommy Brandt was.
Right.
My name was not even an entity. It was just all of a sudden a band shows up here, and this guy's talking about Jesus, and so a lot of them leave and they never know anything about who Tommy Brandt was. So it was a totally different change and transformation.
That's awesome.
In leading people to Christ without having to have a reputation. And
right.
The Bible says make no reputation of yourself anyway.
Right.
There is a fine line in today's world. You have to have followers in order to proceed through, especially financially. But we continued to just chase after that, and it took us a little bit away from the music general industry and the political side of the music industry. But nobody can say it's about Tommy Brandt anymore. And everything that I do, I want to be about Jesus. And since we've done that, it has just quadrupled our souls for the year. We've been running 1,200 people a year in new salvations, first-time salvations, since we started Cowboy Outreach America. And I don't say that braggingly. I just say, man, when you start keeping the main thing.
Yeah.
And I encourage you artists out there who may be listening, make it about the souls. Make it about working for Christ, and make no reputation of yourself, but do everything unto Christ and do it in perfection.
We get the HLE. A lot of people like to say it's Hunter Logan, but it's actually He Loves Everyone. And
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
That's what it stands for. But everybody keeps saying, "Oh, it's Hunter Logan," but it's not. It just happens to be, And if anybody's has listened to the podcast, then they know that that's not even my real name. So, or if they've seen my wife's page, it's not my real name. So I mean, it's just a DJ name. It just happens to be the same letters anyway. So I get it, man, and it's really great to do that, because, like you said, man, it's about the souls. Okay? It really is. And I have a Tommy Brandt story, man. One of the stories I have. We were at an event. I won't say what event it is, and the first statement you made about the stuff that goes on. And this particular event was the first event of its kind. And there's really nobody at the event. And I remember you decided, you and T2, because he was with you, decided to go out into the city, set up, played at a particular place, and invited some people to come out to the event. The following night, I think it was a 3-day event or something like that. And they did. And you actually put some people in the seats at the event. And had you not done that, it would have just been the artist at the event. And one of the things that really struck me about this is you got accused of it being the Tommy Brandt show. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Why didn't y'all get off y'all's butt and go get some people?
Yeah.
Y'all could have got out there and got out there in the heat and went and played. Y'all could have went and sat up somewhere and did that and did the same thing. Nothing stopped y'all from getting up and go and play and bring some people in there.
Yeah.
No, but one man decided to do it. And y'all gonna crucify him and say it's about him because y'all were too lazy to get out there and do it? And listen, I've said this over and over again, and people get mad if they want. And y'all can get mad if y'all want again at me. But there's too many people in this so-called Christian country thing that just want to show up because they think that they should have an audience and get paid.
Right.
When they don't want to get out there and go build an audience like they're supposed to. Because the Lord knows when I was doing, that's what you had to do. You had to get out there and go build a fan base. And that's what you have to do. That's what you're doing. That's what you've done before the Cowboy Outreach, even before the Cowboy Outreach America, before, it was about, even when it was just Tommy Brandt, you were out there building a fan base.
Right.
Which is what you do. And there's very few artists, and I could name them, I'm not going to do it, but there's very few artists that are doing that. Most of them want to show up and just, hey, you should pay me. Like I told the club owners, it's not my place to get people to your club, especially when it's the first time I'm coming in. It's my place to keep them in here drinking so you make money.
Right.
It's your place to get them here. Now, if I come back again and I don't put nobody in here, then it's my problem.
Right.
First time in, no, it's not my problem. It's your problem. But again, here we go with the educational process. Well, I don't need to get started on that again, man. I don't know. I know why I went there. I'm just saying from the story. And that's some of the stuff, some of the stupid stuff that you had to deal with.
Yeah.
And day in and day out of having to deal with that kind of junk, it'll wear on you, man.
Sure.
It'll wear on you. But you know what? You've been faithful. And you have, but you know what, God, I think God says, you know what? Well done, but I'm tired of you having to do that. I'm going to move you over here now. And you're just not going to have to worry about that. Because we're going to do what you do in the goal of souls.
Sure.
And here you go. And man, look, you're out there, a couple of big rigs. Who doesn't want, if you're a musician and you want to be on the road, who doesn't want the trailer that folds out to where you can just jam? I mean, who doesn't want that with the speakers and the lights? Who doesn't? I know I do.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, that's the thing, man. So God has blessed you with that.
Sure.
And there's no reason, like I said, man, I will not apologize for any blessings that God has given me. I will not do it.
Right.
Because God has found me worthy to be blessed, and that's fine. Because every blessing I get, I will use for the kingdom of God. It's not for me. He blesses me to be able to use those for the kingdom. Is either an example of what he can do or to bless somebody else. So that Dove guitar that I chased for 3.5 years that I finally got.
Yeah.
When I go minister somewhere, that's what I take with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I use. Or the Music Man bass that I've been dying that I always wanted. Either one of those. That's what I use for ministry. And there's a story behind it that I can tell as a ministry, or I can use it to play as ministry. Either way, God gets the glory from that stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So it's no different with y'all, man. So I just really identified, but man, through all of it, I think T2 put it the best, man. We all go through it.
Yeah.
But it's better when you're going through it with Jesus, man. It just seems like it's better. The hardships are better. You don't think about it, you just do it.
Yeah.
It was well put, man. It really was. That's going to resonate with me for a good long time now.
Yeah.
That's the word of the day, man. You nailed it this morning. That was so profound. It was really good.
He takes after his mother.
Yeah, go ahead. Take the credit, man. Take the credit. Now, I got a song queued up by you, dude, off your album. It's called Thief in the Night. There was something behind this. Was that like getting ready to be used for a movie or something, or or I'm thinking of something else? Was this? I thought I heard.
I think so.
I thought maybe I dreamed this, or I thought.
Yeah, we actually wrote a few songs off. We're not really allowed to talk about
Oh.
exactly everything on it, but we can
Well, if
say
you can't
it's
talk about
supposed
it-
to be used, that and a few other songs on not only my album but also my dad's are supposed to be used on some movie
upcoming
that's coming out.
projects.
So
Okay. All right. Well, then we won't say any more about it, man. I just.
just keep an eye out. That's
Okay.
what we'll say.
So Hunter once again opens his mouth when he ain't supposed to.
So.
Man, you
It's
can't
a
trust.
little rocking, but
You can't trust me with nothing, man. I forget. You know, Hunter, you ain't supposed to say it because y'all. Evidently, y'all trusted me with this, and then I just messed up.
Oh no, we can say it's in a movie. We just can't really
say anything
talk
else
about
about it.
the movie.
Okay.
So.
But you know, it's really cool because
Yeah.
his music's, you know, it reaches a different audience.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool is, you know, Tommy has an audience he reaches, and
Right.
then, you know, T2 has some that reaches
Mhm.
others. But it takes all to reach all, and you're not going to get the people that are lost out there in the world to come into church and say, here I am, save me, kind of thing. You have to
Right.
go to where they're at, and that's kind of what the Cowboy Outreach does. And in doing that, we use a lot of this music to reach them where they're at in the style of music that they like, but his have clean lyrics, family lyrics, or just something that they relate to, like fast cars or bull
Yeah,
riding.
like I said before, I love to build like old hot rods, and I have one myself,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of, we somewhat wrote the song about that, and James help us on this one,
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure a guy named James Breedwell kind of helped us outright this, and
Okay.
that's what we wanted to write about, was fast cars, high octane, and drag racing. So that's kind of what that's what the movie's about, and that's kind of what we're into.
Okay.
And
So Thief in the Night is this what this is
it's
about?
this song.
All right, man. Just give it a listen. T2 on the morning show, HLE Radio. We'll be back with the Brandts.